Hey guys, I'm Dipti Desikan, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about skincare products you need if you are a beginner to skincare. Like, I'm not talking about the usual like mask and stuff like that, but if you want to incorporate a little more actives into your skincare routine, I think these products are really nice because I have used it on myself for quite some time now that I can tell you guys about it. So this is like a skincare kit you can build under 1,000 rupees, and I've tried to keep it as affordable as possible because not a lot of people can spend a lot of money on skincare products. And also there's just one product that is above 1,000 rupees. I hope you guys excuse me for that because this is a must-have for me, and I think it's an amazing product, and it actually helped my skin a lot as well. A quick disclaimer before I start off with skincare videos is right now I'm seeing a trend where everybody is bashing somebody for their opinion on certain skincare products or for liking some skincare products. Now, skincare is again a very subjective term. No matter what research you do, no matter what you take and who you're following, everything varies when it comes to your skin and how it suits your skin. Now, you can follow a dermatologist, you can follow an esthetician, you can follow a cosmetic chemist or somebody who's doing this for a living, and yet whatever they believe and whatever they tell would still not work out for you or would work for you. So no matter who you follow, always take it with a grain of salt. You cannot trust anybody 100%. You know your skin better. So usually it is a trial and error process. I have tested so many products out. I'm not broken out crazily. It has happened to me in the past actually. When I was a teenager, I got my face freshly threaded and I used a Himalaya cream or something like that and broke out completely. So I know my skin right now, and I know what products would suit me, what wouldn't suit me. So when you start off a skincare routine, use minimum products at a time. So do not put too many products. Now you see a lot of people using like 10-step skincare regime, too many products. Only use products that your skin needs. Your skin will tell you what are the products that it requires, and you can use accordingly. You know, do not, just because a YouTuber is recommending or somebody you see is using some product, do not go ahead and buy everything at a shot. Keep it minimum, keep it with the bare essentials, see how it's working out for you, and then invest in some products. Now, originally I had no niacinamide in my skincare routine. I observed that I was having a lot of texture issues because of another product, and so I went ahead and invested in a niacinamide serum. So I take it one step at a time, and I don't use a lot of products at a time. I know exactly how much my skin can take, and that's the exact amount of products I use. How many products of this you want to use is up to you, and actually it's not even up to you, it's up to your skin. So you just use just the amount of products you need. Research it yourself, and you don't have to agree with me on everything. It's okay, let's agree to disagree, but do not come at me in the comment section with some really passive aggressive comments. I'm really done with those kind of comments. Skincare game and skincare like theories and researches are changing every single year, every single day almost. So a few weeks back you would have believed that something else is really bad for yourself. Like, you would have put all your time and researched about something, and that's not the same thing right now. Like, people are constantly researching, it's always been updated, and people are always disagreeing with something or the other. Now, there are a lot of people who strongly disagree with fragrance in skincare, but there are another group of people who are like, it's okay with having fragrance in skincare. So you can read up on both the sides, decide what you want to do and what is suiting your skin. This is just simple. Is it suiting your skin? Then use it. If it's not suiting your skin, stop using it. I know it is a little bit of money that goes from your pocket. Until and unless you are into trial and error, you can never kind of perfect the skincare for yourself. And I know a lot of you guys are already into trial and error of skincare because you've already been trying out a lot of products that you get in a supermarket, products you get off counter, and then you have decided, okay, that product is not working for me, I want to look for something better. So that's how skincare is always. So there's no one single right or wrong. So, and there's another thing of demonizing certain ingredients, which I don't want to talk about it right now, maybe in some other video. But, and also in today's video I've not included any international brand. All of these brands are of Indian origin, so let's keep it Indian, shall we? So let's get started with the video. Now, depending on if I have makeup or not, I will use these two products. So these two are cleansing balms. One is by the brand called Earth Rhythm. This is a cleansing balm enriched with propolis extract, and this one is from Plum, and this is their E-Luminance cleansing balm. Now I used to use this cleansing balm by Earth Rhythm for the longest time. So as you guys can see, I have kind of like dented this product as well. Now I switch out my cleansing balms depending on my mood, how I want to use it, because I have so many products and I have to finish it up. So this cleansing balm, I do really like it. So when you first apply it, it has like an oil kind of consistency, and then when you apply a little bit of water, it does foam a little bit. It says you have to use a dime size amount of the balm, apply it on dry face in circular motions to remove makeup and impurities, and rinse with warm water and pat dry, and you can just wash it off. So I use this as part of double cleanse. What is double cleanse? I use a cleansing balm and then follow it up with a normal liquid face wash or a cleanser. So this is just the first step of makeup removal. I use this one. Now I do really like this, but I feel like I'm not able to get off my eye makeup very well, especially like waterproof makeup, and it is kind of thick and it kind of makes my eye water a little bit. So that's the reason I've actually shifted to using this one by Plum. And this one again has a very oily slick to your skin. So if you have very oily skin, you might not really like it. This one takes off every bit of makeup on my face. I really like it. It's just a matter of about 25 to 30 seconds where I cleanse all of this off and I'm done. And so I move on to the next product. I'm not letting it rest on my skin. So these two work really well as the first step of makeup removal. And then moving on to a normal cleanser. Now I have three options. One is from Juicy Chemistry. I will insert a picture of it right here, but it's a very subtle cleanser. So if you don't really have a lot of makeup on your face, you just want to use it as soon as you wake up, and just for a clean feel and something that is very refreshing, you can use that. Very nice on the skin, and I don't find it to be very drying, also not stripping the moisture off my skin. And also, before I forget, I have sort of normal to dry skin. I have normal skin throughout the year, but sometimes occasionally it can get dry. I think it's depending on the products I've tried out and all that, because I am trying out so many products. So then the other two that I will be recommending is, this one is from Himalaya. This is the Purifying Neem Face Wash. This is again a very generic brand, something you can get very easily anywhere, but this one happens to be my favorite. As you guys can see, I've gone through this. I've gone through jars and jars of this. I find it to be quite gentle on my skin, not very stripping, and it doesn't foam a lot, it doesn't lather a lot as well. Problem with this particular brand Himalaya is that they don't disclose their full ingredient list. That is the tip a lot of people have with this particular brand, but so far it has not done anything to my skin. And in fact, if I have any like breakouts or anything of that sort, this is the only face wash that I trust my skin with at that time, and it actually almost always works out for me. So this is not very like, it doesn't lather too much. So if you have a lot of makeup on your face, this is not the only one that's going to take it off. So that's the reason I always go ahead with a cleansing balm and then follow it with a cleanser. And then another one is from this brand called La Organo or LA Organo, and this is their apple cider vinegar face wash, and I find this one to be quite refreshing on my skin. It again doesn't foam a lot, it doesn't lather a lot, so I don't find it to be very drying. It doesn't break my skin out, and again, cleansing is a step that I do so quick. In less than 30 seconds I'm done with this step as well. So I'm not very particular about wash off products on my skin. I'm telling you guys this straight up. So if it's like a face wash and cleansers and all that, something that I'm washing off quickly, I'm not very particular with the ingredients of it. Now, if during the daytime you want a toner, and if you're someone who actually vouches by a toner, I really like this one from Pure by Priyanka. This is a green tea toner, and this one has witch hazel in it. Witch hazel again is a very controversial ingredient. A lot of people really like it to combat acne, and especially for oily skin, and some people don't really like it at all because of the tannin and also how this witch hazel is distilled. It's with denatured alcohol. But this one, I find that it's not very drying on my skin. I kind of feel like it gives a tightening effect to my skin, and so I really like this toner. And if you don't want to use a toner, you don't really have to. You can move ahead with the next step of your skincare. Now, if it's the daytime, this is what I like to use. Now, if it's the daytime, I like to use a vitamin C serum, or I use the glow serum. Now, it depends on what your skin needs, okay? Like, you don't really have to use all of this at once and just crowd your skin with too many ingredients. You can of course mix both of this, but I'm just telling you guys, use just how much you need. Now, this one is an antioxidant serum by Sugandha. This contains sodium ascorbyl phosphate. Now, this is not the typical with vitamin C ingredient that they use, that is L-ascorbic acid, which has a pH of about 3.4 or something like that. This has a pH of 6, as mentioned on the website. You can check out Sugandha's website. They have now an entire fragrance free line, so if you have very sensitive skin and an acne prone skin and and fragrance tends to harm your skin, you can try out their fragrance free line. So now what does a vitamin C serum do if you have any pigmentation, sun damage? So it's an antioxidant serum, meaning it would tackle any free radical damage. So that's the reason I like to use it more during the daytime. But every time you use a vitamin C serum or anything, you have to follow it up with a sunscreen. I will be showing you guys the sunscreen in just a bit. When the brand mentions, you can always read the directions on the website of the brand. So it mentions that you use this in the morning to ensure maximum efficiency as it reduces and reverses sun damage, and then you have to follow it up with a moisturizer. Just a vitamin C serum on its own can be very drying, so you have to follow it up with a moisturizer. And yeah, this does contain even hyaluronic acid in it. Vitamin C and hyaluronic acid, like a good combination. And the reason I particularly like this is because I think that my skin is sensitive to the typical vitamin C ingredient, that is L-ascorbic acid. I think I break out from that. So I feel like this is one of the vitamin C serums that actually doesn't do that to my skin. It's not giving me any textures or anything. So again, reduces pigmentation, gives you actual even looking skin tone. You have to use any of these actives for at least 2 to 4 weeks to see difference, you guys. Do not expect to see results in just a week or so. You have to use it consistently and use it the right way. So you can use this with the Glow Serum by Pure by Priyanka. It is a pretty good combination. It doesn't do anything to your skin. It also moisturizes your skin to a certain extent and also adds a little bit of glow to your skin, and the overall appearance of your skin looks really nice when you use this. So this is again optional. If you want to use it, you can use it. Now if you don't want to use a vitamin C serum, you can still use this after your toner, and you can follow it up with a moisturizer. So the moisturizer that I really like, that is because of my skin type, is the Sugandha Calendula Oat Cream. This one is of a thicker consistency compared to a lot of other moisturizers. Now I really like this because it is very hydrating on my skin, especially if the weather is a little bit dry and during the winter times. And also this is really nice when I want to wear makeup on top of this. This is again unscented and it doesn't break me out, even though it is pretty thick. It doesn't clog my pores or anything of the sort. And I find it again to be a very good combination of all these products. So you can use this if you have dry to normal skin. So this is something that you can check out. They have so many other variants depending on your skin type. You can choose a moisturizer for yourself. They have the White Lotus moisturizer, which is I think one of their best sellers. A lot of people really like it. I will insert a picture of this right here as well so that you guys can check that out. Now with that being said, after the moisturizer during the daytime, if your skin is really dry, you can top it off with this Squalane Skin Hydrator. This is for normal to oily skin. You can mix this in with your moisturizer or apply your moisturizer and follow it up with this. Squalane oil is like a very light oil, so you can use it even before your moisturizer or after your moisturizer. Now why a lot of people like Squalane as an ingredient is because it's a very lightweight ingredient and it does penetrate pretty well. It has good penetration capacity. It also balances the oil production on your skin and gives your skin just the right amount of moisture. So this again is an optional step, only if you need it. This is something that I don't use all the time, only when I feel like my skin is very dry or when I feel like I'm going to use a foundation that is really heavy and matte looking. I use an oil like this. This works really well with my skin. If you don't really like this brand, Sugandha has a Squalane product and also I think Wand. So you can check out according to the brands that you really like to try from. This one is something that works really well for me. Now to top it off with a sunscreen, this is from the brand called Kiehl's. It is an SPF 50 sunscreen. So it has UVA and UVB protection. So it's a broad spectrum sunscreen and also has PA+++ rating to it. It's a mattifying sunscreen. Now when I first showed this on my Instagram stories, a lot of you guys mentioned that this was a little too matte and drying on your skin, but I spoke with the brand and taking all your feedbacks in mind, they've actually reformulated this sunscreen. So I don't really find it to be matte at all on my skin, and in fact it looks really nice on the skin. It blends really well and it doesn't have any kind of white cast or white looking skin. So the earlier version again had just PA++ rating. Now they've upgraded the rating as well, and this is an FDA approved sunscreen. This has Suncat DE in it and zinc oxide. So the Suncat DE acts as a sunscreen agent, anti-aging and protective agent. Suncat DE in combination with benzophenone and OMC provides a full spectrum protection. So even though there is benzophenone, the brand has mentioned that it is in very negligible quantities. Like I mentioned, I am of normal skin type and it's not too matte for me, and so I think this is something that would suit all skin types. So I have shown you guys a demo of this. Now the usual way how you have to take a sunscreen is you at least have to apply half a teaspoon of this to your full face and neck and wherever you need it. Just squeezing a little bit of it doesn't make sense, so you have to take at least half a teaspoon of it, which is quite a lot sometimes even for me, but I have started using it that way and I have used this for quite some time now. And because you get 50 ml of product, you don't run out of it really fast. Sunscreens are again something that you have to reapply at least 2 to 3 times a day. I am someone who I preach this, but I don't follow it. Most of the times I don't follow it. I do it very rarely, especially when I have my laser treatment, because that they mention and they find out when I'm not applied enough sunscreen the next time I go with the pigmentation on my face, on my upper lip and chin. So because of that, I used to apply my sunscreen regularly when I used to go for my laser treatments, but now that I'm not going for any laser treatments, I just take it for granted and don't really apply it. I do it sometimes, but I don't really do it that often. So you have to reapply sunscreens at least 2 to 3 times a day. So it just depends on the quantity your skin can take. Though the usual thing is like it's like actually 2 milligram per centimeter square of your skin. So that if you calculate all of that, it evaluates to at least half a teaspoon on your skin, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind and use it accordingly. So yeah, I really like the packaging of this. It's a nice squeezy tube, and also you can get a discount when you use my coupon code if you want to try out this sunscreen. And I feel like it's a really nice sunscreen and it is working pretty well for my skin. Now let's move on to the nighttime skincare. If you want to use all of these products, you can still use the same thing during the nighttime, but I like to switch up just a little bit. So after you wash your face, if you want to exfoliate your face, there are 2 types of exfoliants, the physical exfoliant and a chemical exfoliant. Now physical exfoliants are something like a physical scrub. I was someone who used to use a lot of physical exfoliants in the past. You can still use it, but you have to just be very mindful of the granules you're using. So if it is very thick, especially like a apricot scrub or a walnut scrub, that can be really harsh for your skin and cause micro tears on your skin, which you can't see with your naked eyes, but that would in turn cause a lot of inflammation and acne issues for a lot of people. But I have recently started using chemical exfoliants. These are the 2 chemical exfoliants that I like. Now this one is the Dr. Sheth's Gulab and Glycolic Toner. You get 50 ml of product and it comes with this kind of like a spray nozzle packaging, which I'm not a big fan of. So what I do is I pump it out on the palm of my hand and then apply it onto my skin. That is to avoid cotton rub. You can let this rest on your skin for like 2 to 3 minutes before you move in with the next product. So when you're using a glycolic acid toner, it's not recommended you use a vitamin C serum with it. So be very careful what goes onto your skin after this. So glycolic acid, it takes care of hyperpigmentation issues, anti-aging, fine lines and all that. So like you guys already know, glycolic acid is an AHA. The molecular size of glycolic acid is such that it is smaller, so it penetrates deeper into your skin and has good results because of that. And this one exfoliates the dead skin cells, and it also makes your skin appear a lot more brighter and makes your skin appear a lot more even. So when you're using AHA at night, the next day again, do not forget to top it off with a sunscreen, you guys. Your skin will be very, very sensitive and you will have a lot of pigmentation issues if you are not taking care of that. So be very mindful of that. So I like to use like a glycolic acid exfoliation just once a week, or max, sometimes, very rarely, twice a week. That's it. I wouldn't recommend doing it every single day or anything of that sort. So when I check the website, this mentions that it has a pH of 4, but what I don't really like is that you don't really know the percentage of the glycolic acid present in this toner. That is a major con that I find with this particular product, but it has been working really well for me. My skin is not reacting really bad to this. This is something that you can use if you are okay with using acid exfoliation. But if you're just starting off and you want your skin to be more used to acid exfoliants, so I would recommend using this serum by Sugandha. This is their AHA serum. This is a 10% lactic acid serum. So now lactic acid, both are acid exfoliants, both are AHAs, and it's not like one is more milder than the other or anything of the sort, and they are pretty effective as well. This has 10% lactic acid in it, but both of these do stimulate cell renewal. And lactic acid particularly would be more beneficial for people with dry and sensitive skin. So if you're just starting off with acid exfoliant, I feel like lactic acid is the right way to go, and I even started off with this as well. It's not like one is better than the other, it just depends on your skin and how sensitive you are. So if you're not very sure, and especially given that they've not disclosed the percentage of glycolic acid in this, which should be, I think, lesser than 5% of course, but we're not sure, right? Just to be on the safer side, even though it's a good product, it has worked for me and not caused any adverse effect, you can start off with the lactic acid serum and it works really well. So this is something that I like to use when you're using acid exfoliants, and because you're just starting off, you've not researched enough, be very mindful of the combination of ingredients you're going to be using with this. The other ingredient that I mentioned is the YBP plant remedy. Now I know not a lot of people really like this because of the price point, or they don't think that it is working for their hyperpigmentation or anything of that sort. But for me, you guys, this is very, very moisturizing, especially if you have, I think it's very nice for all skin types, but especially if you have dry skin, I find it to be very moisturizing. It's very simple, just 4 ingredients in it, and I also find it to be pretty calming on my skin. Now, the reason I actually fell back in love with this is I had this much of product left, and now I'm not able to use this because of this kind of packaging, which I'm not a big fan of. They have updated their packaging. It's a usual like dropper form. I will be repurchasing as well because, as you guys can see, I'm out of this. But when I was trying out a particular vitamin C serum from a brand, I had so much texture on my skin that nothing was helping. So what I did was I kind of like put a rest to all other vitamin C serums and everything. So I was just using a combination of these 2 products, the Sugandha Niacinamide serum and the YBP plant remedy, for at least a week consistently. So I was not using anything else. So just my usual serum, the sunscreen, and my moisturizer. These were just the 4 products I was using. Of course, I did use a cleanser and all that, but I'm talking about products I was letting to rest on my skin. So these are the products I'm talking about. So these 2 in combination actually heal the texture on my skin. And so that's when I understood that this YBP plant remedy, especially when you're having like crazy breakouts or a lot of like redness and all that, or even eczema on your face, and you need something that can calm it down, this particular product will do that for your skin. So I have a little bit of eczema on my hand as well, and so every now and then it will kind of get really active and very itchy. So I was trying out a lot of different products, and then I was like, okay fine, wait, I need to try out the YBP plant remedy. And in 2 days of using, it was so calm. So that's the reason I always recommend this product. It's not because I'm affiliated with the brand or I'm like super close to the owner or anything. There are some products of theirs which I've not bought, I won't be trying as well, but some products I think are really nice. So this is one of them. So yeah, that is pretty much all the serums and everything. So again, use just what you need. If you want to use a physical exfoliator, use that. If you want to use a chemical exfoliator, switch out. Which one do you want to choose? Pick out and use it. Don't use both or multiple products and then worry what's happening to your skin, because there's only so much your skin can take at a time. So try, like if I am trying out a new product, I try just one product at a time so that I know how it's working on my skin. If I'm going to be trying out multiple new products and multiple products, I'm actually confusing my skin and it's going to react. So keep it minimal. Then lip balm. This is the Juicy Chemistry Blood Orange and Rosehip Organic Lip Balm. Now this is something that a lot of people really like. I do really like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, okay? So this one works really well if you don't really have very dry chapped lips, and you have to layer this on a lot, like slather it on your lips for it to be like that. But after a while, I feel like my lips do get a little bit dry and it kind of sucks out the moisture from my lip as well. So I have another lip balm that's not of Indian origin that I really like the Face Shop lip balm and all that. That works really well for me. So this one is again pretty good. It's just so refreshing, smells really nice, and no harmful ingredients in this, so you can let it rest on your lip overnight as well and use this as a lip sleeping mask. As you guys know my thoughts on the Laneige lip sleeping mask, that doesn't work for me. And for an eye cream, now if you're using the vitamin C serum, you can take it underneath your eyes. You can take most of these serums underneath your eyes except your acid exfoliators and something that has a lot of fragrance in it. Do not take it underneath your eyes because it can trigger this part. But I do take most of my vitamin C niacinamide serum underneath my eye as well. So most of of my serums and oils, everything goes underneath my eyes as well. But an eye cream that I really like and something that doesn't trigger my sensitive eyes is the Mamaearth Bye Bye Dark Circles eye cream. This works really well for my under eye area, and I feel like it does add a little bit of difference to the dark circles underneath my eyes. Okay, so that's the reason I'm recommending this. If you don't really like it, you can search up for good eye creams in the market and use whatever you like, whichever suits your need. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this video and found it helpful. Now these are products that are more or so catered towards all skin types, but there are some products that are more or so catered towards like dry and normal skin type, so you have to switch it out according to your skin type. But these are the products that I have tried out for the longest time and has worked for me. So let me know what are the other products you'd like me to try out, test out, brands that you want me to test out. Leave it in the comment section down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And so don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.